What's up? What's up? Welcome back to the Hope Shot Live, Sunday Night Live. Man, it feels so good to be here with y'all. We got a good topic for tonight, man. We got Roy and Haley in the house, which I'm super pumped to hear their experience, strength, and hope on these topics as well. Man, you want to talk about, we're coming up on our 2 years since we started this, man. And tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about growth. But it's been almost 2 years since we started this thing. And I was just looking back and I was like, man, when did we start this? Because when we started, we got on YouTube and I was editing all the videos. And bro, I'll tell you right now, that stuff had me, I was like the worst anxiety, but it was, man, the growth that we've had through this whole thing, learning new things, what works, what doesn't. I mean, that's all a part of what life is and recovery and everything that has to do with growing up, so like I look back and I'm like, man, we've come a long way, man. Since then, and it's pretty cool. But if you guys are just jumping on, say what's up, let us know you're here. Caesar, will you please read a clarity statement?
I'd be honored.
Thank you.
The Hope Shot Clarity Statement. We here at the Hope Shot are a group of people in recovery spreading inspiration. We come from all different walks of life and pathways of recovery. Our verbiage may be different at times, but we all have one thing in common. Recovery is a lifestyle. We support all pathways of recovery. It doesn't matter how you get from A to Z, just get there. And thank you for being a part of our Hope Shot family.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I think Tiffany just didn't want to hear that clarity statement or something, man. She was like, I'm out of here.
I don't know.
I don't know, bro. Just kidding. Let's see. We got Hard Knocks. What's shaking the Hope Shot? What's up, my friend, man? He goes live after us on Sunday nights. Good dude. Brittany, good to see you here. Happy Sunday. We got Russell in the house. What's up, family? Love y'all. Look how far y'all have come. Talk about growth. Yes, sir. Then we got, this is Roy and Haley. Love you both very much. Oh, so tonight's topic. Go ahead. You want to say something?
I just wanted to tell him I love him too.
Okay. So tonight's topic is about growth. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they was talking about their time that they've had clean and sober, and they put the word only, and it's weird how language can change things up for us, man. And it's mostly an internal battle that I feel like anytime I put words together that like discredit my growth or my recovery journey or anything to do with anything I do, it loses power, right? It like dims the light. It shut you. You're not taking your power back, right? And this whole thing, we were powerless when we came into this thing, and now it's time to take our power back. That is the whole thing. We need to get just recharged, right? And I've beaten myself up my whole life, and I've discredited everything I did. I'm not good at this, or I'm not that, or I'm not this good looking, or I don't walk like, talk like, or whatever. And I've done that my whole life, where I will literally pick up my own bat and beat the shit out of myself and like put myself down. And it's just not healthy in this game right here, especially it's life or death. We keep doing it over and over. It's that negative self-talk. It's changing the language of how we talk to ourselves. How do we express our truth to other people as well? Are we putting, once we put only, it's like, I only have 7 months. I only have 60 days. I only have 1 day. 1 day is a miracle. And we all live in the just for the day factor. Like we all just have 24-hour period. And changing that only, just take that out. And I hear it a lot from people, and I'm like, stop saying that. Don't say only. Just get it out of there. Get that word out of here, because it really just, even though you don't see it, it's a defeating thing to that self-confidence that we need to build. So that is something that I work on too, because I do it all the time as well. Like, not just with everything I do, like, it's not good enough. Nothing is good enough. Nothing. I'll never amount to anything. And that's been that whole talk my whole life, because of past situations and how I was brought up and how I was raised. And it just needs to, like, we need to stop doing that to ourselves, because we're here to get our power back. And how do we do that? It starts with this right here, with this, making sure that I am well. And it starts with how I talk to myself inside my head and outside of my mouth. So I think that's such an important topic, in this recovery journey, because we don't want to stunt our growth. We want to make sure that we're doing everything we can in our power to make sure that we are building that strength, building that hope, building that courage, building that everything that we always depleted ourselves of. And I think that's needs to be talked about more, So I'm going to pass it over to Roy. Let me say what's up real quick. I'm going to say what's up to a couple people. And if you guys haven't shared this yet, please share this live feed. You never know who might need to hear this tonight. It just takes you, the sharer, to get it out there to that person. So let's see. We got we got Lisa in the house. Hey guys, watching from Austin.
What's up, Lisa? We miss you.
We definitely miss you. Isn't that a song? Something, say hello to Austin or something like that? It's a country song. I don't know. Maybe I'm going too far back. All right, my age is coming out.
No, your country's coming out. I have no reference for country.
Whatever, bro. Whatever. It's okay to a little country. We got Christina. What's up, Christina? Thank you for sharing. We got Verna. It's a good evening, everyone. Thank you for being a part of my recovery this evening. Thank you for being a part of ours as well. We got Rachel, another rock star. That's my freaking family. I love all of y'all so much.
We love you, Rachel.
Yes, we love you too. So, from the other room. Hey, y'all. Oh, she got country too. Hey, y'all. Or not read it like that. And we got Melissa. Melissa, good to see you. Hey, Hope Shot. I'm bowling with the family, but got to catch y'all on replay later tonight. Send love. Love you out all. So grateful for my Hope Shot family. Grateful for you too. Have fun with your family. Roy.
All right. How you guys doing? All right. Yeah, I love the topic. So I was hearing growth. I was also hearing like self-love, which is a big, big part of recovery, and just being happy with yourself and being happy in life. I always, the other one that irks me, it's not the word only, but it's like I was saying before, it's substantial. So someone's like, oh, they have substantial clean time, and we always talk about it. It's about the work I'm doing today, not the time I have, right? The time gives us experience. But man, I was that addict who could not get an hour clean, who spent my life in bathrooms and hiding in a dark room and socializing with nobody. And everything I did was geared towards getting the next one, and I remember not believing that I could get a day clean. I remember sitting with my probation officer crying, telling her, I can't do it. This is not something I can do on my own. And I remember the pride I had in my first day. And I remember going to meetings and seeing people with a lot of clean time. And I did diminish my achievements, right? That's what we're talking about. Like diminishing what we've achieved just by having the courage and the strength to walk through the door and saying we need help and start working towards a different life. And I'm guilty of that. I still do it to this day. I say I only have 5 years. Someone says your head pops out of your ass, and I'm like, I don't see it. And I need to do better at that for myself sometimes. And I work on it every day. Just accepting where I'm at today, and remembering what it took to get here. I just spent this weekend on a spiritual retreat, and I thought about where I was last year, and with the holidays, where I was at a year ago, 2 years ago, my last holiday using. I've done a lot of that reflecting and working through some of that stuff. And like, I could truly say, like, maybe for the first time in my recovery, that over this last several months that I've really began to be proud of where I've gotten to. And that's our job as other people in recovery to make sure that people don't diminish their achievements, and they realize they don't forget like how hard it is and how okay it is to be where they are at today. You know, like somebody else was speaking about that this weekend. Like, you know, remember when you're looking at somebody and you see them with 5 years and you diminish where you're at thinking you should be somewhere else, that like we didn't just jump into where we're at today. We had, you know, we had to work for that. We had to be patient. We had to go through a lot of ups and downs. And, you know, there'll be more to come without a doubt. Like life throws that at us. But like it's okay to be somebody with 6 days and know what you should know with 6 days clean and be proud of 6 days clean, you know, or 60 days clean or 30 days clean. Like that's why we say just for today, because there's no big I's and little U's, right? And I have watched with my own eyes somebody with 2 days cleans keep somebody with a year clean from using. I've seen it happen, you know, and the newcomer doesn't realize how valuable they are. And that like sometimes when we're going through it and we take a newcomer out for some coffee or some dinner or do something for them, that we're going through it. And that takes our mind off of what we're going through and reminds us where we come from and how valuable they are. And without them, like, there's been times where without them, I wouldn't have gotten that day clean. And it's our job to remind them just how valuable they are and how important they are and how important their achievement is. Because, I mean, you don't get 5 years without 60 days. You know, that's why that white chip, that white key tag is so important. So absolutely. And growth. I mean, we could talk about that all night, you know. I'm grateful that where I'm at for where I'm at in my growth and the spiritual place that I'm at. You know, first 2 years were just learning how to behave like a normal member of society, and I didn't do a good job as you, Justin, are aware of, and many people in my circle. You know, and I don't hide it, or nor am I ashamed of it today. You know, the next couple of years were like implementing. You know, being a productive member of society and like working on bad behaviors. And this last year has just becoming finding spirituality within the program, because it's a spiritual program, as we were talking about before. And growth never ends. The minute that my growth ends, everything negative about me comes back, because all of it only stays put with work and every day and every minute I strive to be the best that I can be. I no longer try to be spiritual. I try to live spiritual, and that has changed everything about my recovery and my life today and my relationships. That's the greatest difference I have, you know, in growth. And that all comes with time. That 60 days, man, without that 60 days, the rest of it doesn't happen. So that guy who says he's only got 60 days, man, that 60 days is laying the groundwork for the rest of his life, as will every other day from there on out, you know? And every bit of it's important. So that's what I got.
You know, I loved how you touched on that, man. It's like the person with 1 day or 2 days can keep the person with one, and you've seen it, you've witnessed it. And I'll tell you right now, the person like Russell, he just right here, each and every one of you have helped keep me clean coming up on 22 months. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for recovery. And I'll tell you right now, that dude has kept me clean. Okay. Him, Rachel, all the people. That's how we do this, man. I don't know. I'm not some guru. Yeah, trust me. I'm just another freaking person, like the person that just came in. I'm exactly the same, maybe even worse, because I know a couple things. You know what I mean? So I love how you touched on that, because that's important. Here we go.
You think you know a couple of things.
I know at least two.
We think we know something.
Exactly, but that can get us in trouble, right? You know what I mean? Like,
do you mind if I jump in? Like, you mind if I jump in?
Yeah. Did you jump in? Did you?
He got me thinking, and you know, before we came on, we were talking about going back to basics, and we were talking about, but you never, well, at least I've never really left the basics. You know, my growth is in other areas of my life. The basics are the basics. The building blocks are my foundation that I build off of. So those basics are the bedrock of everything that I'm building after that. And as far as growth goes, that's the beauty of a fellowship or having a support network is none of us see it in the beginning. We're always comparing to somebody else. It's 30 days, 5 days. We don't see any growth, but other people see it in us. And that's the beauty of the people around you when they say, man, you're doing great. I'm proud of you. Those words are so impactful when you're brand new because you haven't had anything to be proud of. Let me not say you. I haven't had anything to be proud of when I'm, 4 days in recovery. And then some guy goes, man, I'm proud of you. You're doing a good job, man. Keep coming back. And you're like, what? Me, I'm doing a good job. And it feels good. And it makes you want to come back. And that's our job. Everybody on this screen today, it's our job to encourage those people that can't see the growth. And exactly like Justin said, when somebody said, I only have 7 months, it's our job to go, don't be putting only in front of that. That's a big deal. And I'm proud of you. And then they feel good. How do you get good self-esteem? By doing esteemable acts. But you got to let them know that that's what they're doing. It's important that we encourage people. It was important to me. It made all the difference in the world because when I got out of rehab, I remember walking to all these meetings and stuff. And I thought it was such a huge deal. I had the code to get into the Edna Avenue Club. And it was like they had trusted me with the biggest thing in the world. I was like, I took it dead serious because nobody had put any trust in me in years. And those guys that said, just come in and make some coffee, just set it up, put the literature out. That little bit of trust they put in me made me feel like I was doing the right thing. And on that walk every single day, I was so focused on, I don't want to let anybody down. I don't want to be late. These guys put their trust in me. One day I realized I'd been walking down this road for 30 days. I had to walk to probation. I had to walk to my meetings. I didn't have a license. And I realized I was walking by 3 bars every single day. And I hadn't even noticed because I was focused on this goal, this growth, this spiritual growth. I, like you, Roy, I had crashed and burned so many times. I really didn't have a lot of confidence in myself. I wasn't like, oh man, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do this recovery thing and I'm going to do great. I was more like, shit, I'm going to give it a try. I don't have a lot of faith that this is going to work. Nothing else has. But those people early on that told me I was doing a good job, those people that asked me to speak when I had nothing to say, like when you got like 30 days or whatever, and they're like, hey man, can you get up in this meeting and speak? I was, why the hell would you want to hear what I got to say? I ain't got nothing to say. But I did. And they made me understand that, they're like, you got 30 days. So anybody that's got less 30 days, you can tell them something about how you did it. If you got 1 day and you're coming back to the next day, you can tell the guy that's walking into his first meeting how you were here yesterday. We all have something to offer in this thing. And as we get farther along, I believe that that's part of the growth process for us, to be able to recognize it in others like it was done for us. So that next group can go and feel better about themselves. And just, I got to be told I'm doing the right thing. I got to be told I'm doing a good job at something, because like Justin said, between my ears, I'm hard on myself. I'm always a piece of crap. I'm never doing enough. So the beauty of this thing is, since it was done for me, I want to do it for other people. And I gas people up. When I see them, I'm like, man, you look so good, bro. Look at you, and like, I want to put a smile on people's face. When people see me, I want them to smile before I even talk because they know it's coming. I'm going to gas them up. And that is a bright spot in my life. If you can bring a smile to somebody's face, if you can make them forget their problems, even for 60 seconds, just while you're talking to them, that's a blessing, man. And I'm doing my job today. That's really all I got.
Yeah, I want to say that real quick, Caesar, because it's like gassing people up, right? See, and that's another thing with that discrediting, right? Accepting compliments as they are, right? Don't deflect. Don't. Oh man, I was got me,
I've
because
been
like,
grabbing your butt for the better part of 2 years, telling you were sexy.
and then I finally accepted it. You know what I mean? But it's those things. It's those things that like it might seem so like minuscule to us and like, yeah, but really, it some deep shit we're freaking deflecting, and we need to stop it because that is how we're gonna take our power back. Get that
How
power
hard is
back.
it to accept compliments, really? You know what I mean? Like, and we struggle with it. No, man, no, I can do better.
Nah.
Justin, man, you're working out really hard. I'm proud of you. You look good. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm getting there.
I ate a
No,
donut.
you're doing a good job, man. You got up and you did your thing today. It's just it's important that
Mhm.
we remember how it felt when we got those compliments and when we were told we were doing the right thing, for us to do that for people now.
Yep.
Because if you can put a smile on somebody's face, maybe that's what makes them want to come back the next day. Because, man, Roy told me I was doing a good job, man. I don't want to let Roy down. You might not think about it, Roy, for the rest of the day, just that compliment you gave, but they might dwell on that for the rest of the day. And they might show back up the next day just because Roy told them they're doing a good job, man. And that you love them and you're proud of them and that kind of stuff, man. Like, we can change people's perspectives on themselves if we share our perspective with them, that we're proud of them, that 10 days is amazing, 2 days is amazing. Stop putting that it's only in front of it. Be proud that you did it today. Don't be ego, don't be cocky, but be proud of yourself. Every once in a while, give yourself a damn break.
And cheeseburger. Yeah.
Hey, I did.
Hey, I will say that Roy is really good at gassing people up, man, in the beginning, dude. Listen, I hear it all the time, man. And like people always like they'll give him little praises. If it wasn't for Roy, man, I probably wouldn't be here. And like he does gas people up in a good way. So he does do that. Let's see. I'm gonna say what's up to some people, and then I'm gonna pass it over to Haley and let her speak, and then we'll save the best for last. You know that. Yeah. Don't deflect, Tiffany. You better stop that. So let's see. We got James Frank. Man, yeah, it's been a minute. Good to see you. Hey, what up, y'all? Been busy. Glad to be back on here. Glad that y'all doing well. Good. Hope you're doing well too, my friend. Let's see. We got Teresa. When did this start? It started at 8:00 every Sunday night Eastern time. We got Sandra Cornwell. She says, well said. It's important to write a different script for yourself. The world does this too well and will beat the crap out of you with their words and their opinions of who they perceive you to be. And we're the biggest ones that do that too, beat the crap out of ourselves. Let's see. We got Jenna. Good to see you. Let's see. We got Bobby. Shout out to Bobby with 10 months right here. Congratulations. That's
Hey,
amazing.
Congratulations, Bobby.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Let's see who else we got. We got Nathan in the comments. My friend, we miss you too, buddy. Can't wait for you to be back here. And then we got Bobby says, don't see this type of content on Facebook. Usually I love this. Thank you guys. We're here every Sunday. And I know Kelly put it in there saying that. And then we have Nathan says Caesar is always putting a smile on his face. That's right. We got Nathan also says I cannot take a compliment without being awkward as fuck. And that's true. Oh God. Let's see. Russell, you're an inspiration, brother. We got Shannon says, weird. I just heard of you guys on Thursday when you showed up in my news feed, was told amazing things about you guys. Well, that's great to hear. There's amazing things here said about us, because we're just trying to do, the best we can and just spread hope and inspiration. That's what we're here for. That's what we do every Sunday. Thank you to everyone that comes on here with us, man. Like it's such a awesome thing we're doing here. Thank you for being in the comments and thank you for sharing that. We got Jess says, it's been a hot minute since I've logged on Sunday Night Live. Life, good to be back. Good to see you here too. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. We got Alicia says, good to see y'all. We missed the last few lives. Good to see you too. Thank you for being here. Rachel says, Roy Lauren has been a huge part of my recovery and always shows up for me. So freaking proud of you, brother. Grateful to witness the growth in you this past year. And I love you beyond words.
There's another one right there. She gasses some people up too. Rachel's out there just spreading the love.
Yes, dude. It's I'm telling you, man, it's a we thing, man. We all, because at times, man, I don't even feel like gassing people up or even feel like I need to be gassed up. I don't want to be gassed up, you know. But did you say too bad?
We don't do it anyway.
You know, it's good, man. We need that. So, Haley. What's up, Haley?
Hey, hi y'all. I'm Haley. I'm grateful to be here, be able to share a message of hope. I really like the topic. You know, and I think about the growth process. First, I like to point out like what Caesar had said about kind of flipping it as far as instead of like being so hard on ourselves or holding ourselves back, more so like what we can do as people who have been here to kind of help deflect that, you know, or where they don't deflect that, you know. And then, you know, I think about my growth and I think about where I was whenever I came into a 12-step program. You know, I think about, you know, where my disease, my addiction had brought me, you know, like just like he had shared, I was in the dark hole, you know, like doing things that I'm not proud of, you know, stuff that I've had to do a lot of work on, where you say, you know, you have to do, how do you build self-esteem? You do esteemable things. Well, it's backwards. Whenever if I'm doing those things that are dirty, I feel dirty. It's hard for me to think good about myself or be positive or, you know, look at the positive or be grateful when I'm just filled of all that nasty stuff, you know? So it's kind of like you touched on a foundation, both of you did, you know? And so like, where do I get growth? Well, I mean, I've got growth, first of all, since I come in, just from not, you know, putting a substance in me, whether that be a specific drug or alcohol or whatever, you know? And so that right there helps me grow up in general, you know? And then I get around people who kind of have the same, you know, idea as me, or the winners, as you would call them, you know, and those people are the ones who teach me how to grow, you know, or help me get to a place where I can grow up. And, you know, I think about you are saying like deflecting as far as, oh, I only got 6 months or I only got this. Well, it kind of puts me like where I am in the point in my life right now, because I've been there, you know, like can't wait till I can raise my hand, you know, because I got a year and all this, you know, or like thinking I'm not good enough. And then, you know, living with a relative because, you know, I'm not grown up enough to live on my own, and I'm seeing all these people with all this stuff. And then, you know, I get to this place where now I got my own house, but like I rent, right? So, well, now I'm not good enough because I don't own a house. I rent a house, but it's like, you know, my growth, like I gotta look at my growth. Sometimes I think about, you know, instead of seeing what I have, I think about what I don't have. You know, and I think that's just like, you know, a natural thing that happens for someone like me, where I go to that negative. Like I heard someone share today that when a negative thought comes up, it's my addiction talking to me. It's my disease talking to me. And like, how do I change that? You know, I change that with the action of gratitude, you know, or giving back to somebody else, you know, and that makes me think, you know, you mentioned Rachel in here, like, that's someone who can definitely blow my head up, you know, when I'm done having a conversation with her, I'm feeling like I'm walking on water, you know. I love that woman and this area in general, you know, and like I mentioned before, you know, the growth is the people I surround myself around, you know, and like it's looked different over time, you know, like for me, just getting one day clean was growth, you know, like he shared it. I couldn't put together 1 hour, you know, and then I had 5 days, and, you know, like for me in specific, other people do it, but I had to be separated from my addiction. I needed some space, you know, like my consequences were separation from the outside, you know, and I'm grateful for that, but it wasn't on the first try, you know, it was, you know, like it was a process, you know, where I learned some stuff each time. And then I got to a point where I just became willing, you know, the pain got great enough and I became willing to do something different. And, you know, and through that, it's been a journey and a process. And, you know, I think about, you know, where I am as far as growth and like how far I come. And then I think about like, you know, my kids, and I think about like who I am as a parent. Like from when I first walked in the door, like I didn't know how to be a parent, you know, I didn't know how to be a mother. I didn't know. My parents gave me the best that they could give me, you know, and like with what they had. And, you know, that's something I feel not a lot. I mean, you know, you hear it shared, you know, it's like breaking the chains, you know. And so for me, like that's a big part of my growth is like, you know, getting outside of my comfort zone and doing the things and being consistent, you know, like being consistent, because it's easier for me just to sit back and be like, whatever, you know, you can do whatever because I don't want to deal with it. But then really, you know, like I'm robbing them in the process, you know, and myself in the long run. So, you know, I stick with the winners, you know, and I followed some suggestions. And you know, like again, I'm kind of all over the place, but something else that popped in my head is like growth as far as like the decisions that I make, right? Like when I first came in, you know, to a program, the decisions that I made then to the decisions that I make now, you know, are extravagantly different, you know, like grown up decisions, you know. And my life is, you know, beyond anything that I could have asked for. I would have shortchanged myself, you know, if I would have thought or made up what I thought was going to happen for me, you know. And it's only through, you know, having built that foundation that Caesar was talking about, you know, like I had to start from somewhere. And, you know, and then the fellowship and the sponsorship and the step work and, you know, like the higher power and like all these things like accumulated. And like, that's where, you know, the growth stepped in, you know. And we're talking about like newcomers and how basically a topic for a newcomer is the same thing for, you know, for an old timer. We're all, you know, we're all in the same spot, you know, like what can benefit them can also benefit us, because for me, it's just the same. I got to stick to the basics, you know, and that's how I keep growing. Those are my foundations. And, you know, made me think about this, we were at a meeting this morning at this spiritual retreat that we went to, and, you know, talking about how we can even learn from newcomers. This newcomer had said a comment that was like, it was so powerful. Like this girl had 45 days clean. And she said, I was an unreliable narrator in my own story. Mm-hmm. And I was, you know, like we were both like, wow, like that was bomb, you know. And it's just, you know, it's amazing. Like we learn from each other, you know, like we understand each other, we relate, you know. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to be here. I'm not really that person who hops up and shares a lot, because just like somebody with 60 days, you know, I'm over here thinking like I don't have anything to share, you know. And that's where I just gotta step outside of that, you know, and like just be present and give it how it is and give the raw me. And you know, this is what it is. So thanks for asking me to come on.
Thank you for coming on, Haley. And, you know, we need strong women, and you're one of them. You know, you're very strong in your recovery, and like, you're just, you know, I hear nothing ever bad, and just like how awesome, like of a woman in recovery you are. That's why I was like, man, it's nice when you suit up, you show up, and you share some hope, you know? And, God, I had something on my brain, and I was gonna, oh, Roy, remember you were talking about the person with 17 years, right? Remember we were just talking about, you're talking about the person with 17 years, they're held to almost a higher standard than the person that's in the new recovery. But we're all in this together, and we all at different times, like we all have just for today, you know. And like sometimes the person with 17 years might be struggling harder than the person with 2 days, 3 days, you know, and it's so true. And like they're held to this higher standard and you're not supposed to struggle. What? Get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? You know, so
I hold myself to that standard too often. I'm like, I think because I've got the time that I do, I shouldn't be where I'm at all the time. That's where I start getting the negative self-speak. And I just wanted to add from what Caesar was saying and she was saying, and that is if your circle, if you get around your circle and they don't make you feel good about you and what you're doing. Now listen, like accountability is one thing. You know, being held accountable sucks sometimes. But like on a general basis, if the people you surround yourself with, like we're talking about Russell, we're talking about Rachel, there's so many other people who I could throw names out that are part of my circle. Today, I am surrounded by people who love me and want to lift me up. We were in a prayer circle the other day, and they were talking about the people we've lost, right? And I was like, and let's remember the ones that hold us up today too, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's so many people like who you surround yourself with may be the most important decision you make in recovery, period. Because like you talk about the steps, right? We need someone in the fellowship to take us through them, right? We need suggestions, right? We count on those in our circle is who we go to for those suggestions. When you talk about spirituality, you're talking about surrounding yourself with spiritual people. When you're talking about growth, if you're surrounding yourself with people who aren't growing, you're not going to grow either. You know what I mean? And like surrounding yourself with the right people. And if you surround yourself with people and they don't make you feel good about the positive things you're doing, it's time to look at that, because you're never going to go anywhere and you're never going to find that true, you know, part of self-love is finding those who love you for yourself, for you, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of blowing people's heads up, you know what I'm saying, and gassing people up, I just wanted to let you know, Justin, that you got like one of the best podcast radio voices I ever heard. You're like perfect for it.
There it is.
Yeah,
there it is.
Yo, it took 2
You
years.
really do sound good on here, bro. Like it's no joke.
And that's all right. I'm gonna accept that. I'm gonna bring it in. I'm gonna put it in here. Bring it on in. Yo, I hate the sound of my own voice sometimes, and I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, stupid. I don't know why I'm doing this. Listen, I do it all the time. I've gotten better. I'll tell you that.
Yes.
You're great. You're good at it.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm gonna read a few comments. I also want to say, that this is a journey, not a destination, and trust the process and enjoy the process and go with the process. And I want to say also that sometimes we outgrow people too. You know what I mean? So, so I'm going to read some comments and I'm going to pass it over to Tiffany, and then we can kind of talk after that. So let's see. We got Rachel says, Haley, now this woman is an absolute diamond, a precious, priceless gem who blesses us all with an abundance of strength, love, grace, and compassion. Gaslight. Actually, there is no gaslight on that one. Haley, thank you for leading by example and for the light in my life. Soul sisters always. Oh, gosh. Man, you have a way with words, Rachel. I will tell you this now. You have a way with words, and I got to put myself back up here just because nobody can see my face or my lips moving sometimes. Let's see. We got I had to come up here. We got Steve, big Steve, man. I didn't even know you had a Facebook, bro. You know,
yeah, he's on YouTube.
I know, bro. Like, there's some things we just don't know about people, man. All of a sudden, just comes out and like, I got a Facebook. Oh,
he's got a picture and everything.
I know. Like, I feel like I'm gonna go find you and be a friend. I'm gonna friend you. If I don't get a friend in return, man, that's it. We done.
Hey, Steve, we love you too, and there's nothing you can do about that.
Not a lick. Not a lick. Let's see. We have Crystal. She is congratulations for getting on your journey to recovery. And you know, the Suboxone, Matt, is important too. So don't discredit yourself.
Yeah, well, she asked what we thought about it, and it's right in our clarity statement. We support all pathways of recovery. If you're bettering your life and you're working towards that goal and your life is getting better, we are proud of you. And you know, keep going.
Keep doing the damn deal. We got Jamie. Hey, good to see you here. She says, Rachel, Keegan, and Haley, you guys are an inspiration to me every day, and I am blessed to call you friends and have you in my circle. Thank you for sharing your words and spirit with all of us. Thank you for being here, and we're going to get you on here. She wants to come on here and share her story too. We're just kicking it off this year. Let's see. We got lots of stuff. Let's see what we got. We got Jessica says, I know, right? But good to see you here. Just want to give you a shout out. We got Naomi. She says, LOL, but want to give you a shout out. Good to see you here. Let's see. We got Steve. He says, so right. And good to see you here, buddy. Thank you for supporting us. And if you guys haven't yet, please share this live feed. You never know who might need to hit that replay and get some hope. So I'm going to pass it over to my lovely wife, Tiffany.
Hey guys, good evening. It's kind of funny. This is a really cool topic because I missed the first couple minutes. I do apologize. Regardless, so I think it's really cool to talk about this because over the last few months, I've kind of like wanted to. There's people who've been celebrating, right, with some time, and I remember when I first started seeing them, and I remember like I just wanted to go hug them. But then I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm weird with hugs because I like to give them. I really love giving hugs. But at the same time, I know like people don't like hugs. So, especially at first, right? Anyways, and so like you guys were talking about, like when somebody's brand new, it like lights this refire. It like relights the fire in my soul, right? Because not only does like you guys already said all the good stuff, like it's all just so true, and it's just all the like the basics and the what I came in day one as. I'm still doing the same and learning the same and coming back to the same stuff with a little bit of time. I still learn the same, and when day one people walk in and then I start to see them consistently, and it's just so intriguing, and then when they choose to like talk, and it's just so exciting. Well, I mean, depending on what they're sharing. But you know what I mean? Like, because it relights that fire in my soul of, man, I remember when I first started coming around. Now, when I first started coming around, it was an interesting story. I mean, I'm sure everybody's is, right? But like, and I remember there was two people specifically that really made me want to come back. And to be honest, I wanted nothing to do with any of it. And so like, but the only reason I kept showing up and being okay with coming around was because two people. And what did these two people do? They gave me a hug and they said, I just love your face so much. I love seeing your face. That's all it took to make me feel like, even though I felt like an outsider, I didn't belong. I don't know what's going on. I felt out of place. I didn't have any idea of nothing, but I knew that for some reason, this person was making me feel a type of way that nobody else was making me feel. And that was a genuine, somebody was saying something genuine, even though I didn't quite believe her, like as far as like, who would love to see my face. But when she was saying it, it was so real and genuine. And to this day, I know that it was, right? But like, it made me keep coming back. And so like, when I see a new face, I want to do the same, because it's like those, if you just like keep coming, and then when they choose to share, and it's like, you said, Haley, like they say things because like that different perspective from that new eyes, their new eyes, and then it helps our a little tiny bit seasoned eyes re-see it, and it's like a whole nother 3 different lights all over it, and it's like a whole new world, but all in the same. And it's like I remember that fear, right? It's crazy. Okay, so this morning, I went to a meeting as well, and it was with a different, I went to church, okay? And I was scared, and I was nervous, and I was sweating, and I felt so out of place, and I felt alone, and I felt all those feelings, right? And that's literally what it brought me back to was, man, I need to just be consistent in coming so that I don't have to feel this way anymore, you know? And it brought me back. It's so funny we're talking about it tonight, right? Because it's like when you first start, it's all that newness and that fear and the anxiety, and you don't know anybody, and and I want to get better at this year, when I see a new face, being okay with going up to talk to them, right? Um, oh my God. I really I want to, when I first met Justin, it was on the phone, and that I really liked his voice too, just saying. um,
Screwed up because I don't.
but I want to make it a better goal this year, like being okay with, because I'm really awkward too, and like I have all these different thoughts of like this new face doesn't want my weird self so awkward coming up and talking to them, right? But at the same time, like I have this deep desire in my heart to go up to these people because they mean more to me than anybody else in the room. Even though all of us, it's a we thing, right? Each of us, we all equal and love each other the same because we all play these different roles in different periods of our recoveries, right? But like this new person coming in, the value of them walking in the room is so precious. And like, I just wanted this year, hopefully, get outside myself enough to get past the fact that I'm really just my own thoughts of myself and just go up and give them a hug and maybe share the gift that was given to me that kept me here. Because, I mean, right, we can't keep what we got without giving it away. And maybe that's why I got this desire. And hopefully this year I can show up on it, right? So I love you guys. Happy freaking Sunday, New Year. And Haley and Roy, it's so freaking cool to see your faces and have you here.
Thanks, babe. Hey, I will say this, like all we are is seed planters, like whether it grows or not, but how can we do that? Planting a seed is called a hug too. Planting a seed is being nice to somebody, is saying you're glad you're here, is putting all those little positive things out into the atmosphere that was said to us along the way as well. And that's what's important. That's what we need to give back. Can't keep what we have unless we give it away. And that's facts, So that's why I show up every Sunday in my weird self, talking like a podcaster, but I'm not. But but I am, but I'm not. But I am, but I'm not. Okay.
Sexy voice.
Yo, listen, it's so funny. And I'm going to believe y'all, okay? Because that's what I do. And that's what we're supposed to do. I have to believe y'all because I love and respect these people. So I'm not going to rely on my own thinking because I am just terrible at thinking for myself. But it's like that's how I believe there's a higher power. That's how I believe there's certain things. That's how I believe that you guys are telling me the truth, is because I've equipped myself with all these things to help me trust, right? And that's what I do now, is like, because you say I am, I'm going to take your word for it, and believe you're not lying to me. It took work to do that. Growth.
Hey, everybody in here talking about your hugs are the best, Tiffany, this and that. It's all of us. We're all examples in our job. We're example in our circle. We're example in our community. And our job is to be the best example of recovery we can be each and every day. The best version of ourselves, the best example of recovery. And I can't do that if I don't give the hug. And I can't do that if I don't give the compliment. And I can't do that if I don't hold the door open for the person. It's the transformation from the selfish, self-centered dude that started this thing to the way that I think now is astounding, because I think about everybody else more than I think about myself. I'm like, oh man, well, I don't want to cross the lane over there because that's a little old lady and she'll probably get nervous if I get right behind her with a big truck. And, it's important to me to represent myself in a way that makes recovery look attractive, so that somebody doesn't go, well, look at that miserable bastard. Why would I want to be in recovery? Look at him. That doesn't look like anything that I want. I don't want to represent that. I want to represent the fact that recovery is fun and we have an amazing time. We build true bonds, true friendships, and we're caring, loving people. And if I can wear that every day, then I did my job every day.
Mhm. Yeah. Go ahead, Roy.
You know, you're talking about growth, and that's where you truly start to see and feel the growth beyond people telling you that, is when you stop trying to be and just are. You know,
Ooh.
it's no longer something I try to be, and that's new. I'm going to be completely honest, and you guys who know me know that that's new. Is like, today I don't try to hold the door open for people. I don't try to think of others first. I don't try to say the nice thing. I used to be that guy who tried to do that because that's who I wanted to be and that's who I aspired to be. And today, like, when a negative thought comes into my mind, it doesn't even feel right. Like saying something negatively, reacting negatively. Not, and listen, I'm not perfect, right? But 9 times out of 10, it just feels wrong. And so it's not even like, it's no longer like the 10th thought before I get to a good one. It's like that one negative thought comes in, it just feels wrong, feels dirty, like you were talking about, and then it's on to something more positive, or no reaction at all, and something I need to just walk away from. But there's, and my sponsor used to tell me that was one of his favorite lines is, I may be the only example of recovery that somebody ever gets out in public. And what example do I want to leave for them? And it's taken me this long to get to a place where I can truly say, like, I'm an example I can be proud of. You know, I can say it for me. I don't really need people to tell me that anymore. But you know what? For 4.5 years, I needed people in my circle to tell that to me because I did not believe it. Today, I know it. It's not even a belief. But at one time, that I needed Justin. I needed Tiffany. I needed you, Caesar. You were one of the first people that I ever met in recovery. You are the first person on my Facebook ever. My first Facebook. That was Caesar.
Damn.
That's the funny circles.
Everything else is garbage. No,
I never had a Facebook. And they told me I should get a Facebook to be able to link up with people in recovery. And he was the first person to send me a friend request and said, like, welcome to recovery. He knew a friend of mine that I'd known since I was like 16.
Dude, that's so awesome.
That is
Yeah. That's how it goes back, man. And I didn't see him for like 3 more years until I walked into a meeting one day and seen him, was like, holy crap.
There's that Facebook guy.
There's that Facebook guy.
Hey, can I read one comment real quick?
Yes. Yeah.
I know you. I see your eyes moving. I know you got plans, but just I want to share this. So Stevie says the last time I commented here is when my mom first went into nursing home care, and I believe it was Caesar who was sharing about handling his own loss. Your experience, strength, and hope helped me to be able to be there for my mom in the last days leading up to and including as she passed last month. Thank you. Wow. Thank you for sharing that, Stevie. And it's not to toot my own horn. It's literally, this is why we do this. People put questions in the comments. We address the questions and we share how we get through life without picking something up. Life's hard. You know, like I don't want to paint this pretty picture. Yeah, we gas people up and we love each other and we're kind people, but we still have to face life on life's terms, not our terms. And death happens and all this stuff happens out there. And if we can lean on each other and if I can share how I got through it, maybe somebody else can get through it. And if Justin can share how he got through something, then maybe I can get through something. And it's just us sharing our little nuggets of how we dealt with these situations and people that shared them with me that make me I'm able to say, man, if that guy can do it, I can probably do it too. So I love that comment.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and I'm so sorry about your loss, Stevie. It never gets easy. I lost my mom as well. And it never gets easier, but it's learning how to be able to process and get through it and grieve in the proper way, in a healthy way. Thank you for sharing that with us. And again, it's like everybody in the comments. You guys also help us as well. That right there just gave me so much power, right? And let us know that we're on the right path and we're doing the right things, because we need affirmations. And how do we get it? We get it from y'all, man. And you guys are in the comments helping each other as well. It's just one group. It's a group thing. It's got a funky swing, Remember that song? Who don't remember that song, huh? It's a group thing. It's kind of funky. No, okay, whatever. It's a group thing. Whatever. Anyways. Let's see what we got in here. Yes, Jessica. I said I know right for saying that. So thank you for that as well. I appreciate you, and I'm gonna believe you. Let's see. We got Steve says all new thing, this Facebook stuff. I am pushing buttons. I don't know. All right, man. Good to see you on here on Facebook. And it says, Lisa says, I love you so much, Tiff. Let's see. Russell says, because of seeds planted by Kelly, Caesar, Nathan, and so on, is why I'm here today. And I'm so glad you are here today, Russell, man. You're just that dude. You're just that dude, man. Let's see. And we got Christina. Oh, yeah, I read this comment. And she says, I just said that today. I'm going to get back to going to more meetings to share my experience, strength, and hope. My story can help someone who is struggling. I work in recovery field now, but I can't forget where I came from either. I didn't get to 3 years and 8 months clean by myself. No, that is facts right there. And, you know, and it's our duty. It's our responsibility. And I remember, I think it was Lisa that said this, and we are being selfish by not sharing our experience, by not raising our hand and giving that back. We're being selfish. And that is a form of the self-centered addiction, you know, that the center of our disease, you know, is the self-centeredness. So definitely get back to me and share that stuff. You need to hear it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
You gonna what? You want to say something? Let's see.
Technical difficulties, man.
Naomi, she says, I'm here because of Tiff freedom. Oh yeah. That's awesome. See, it's a we thing, man. And Rachel says it takes an army, and that is facts. So it has been a pleasure to be with you guys tonight. And Roy and Haley, thank you so much for coming on here and sharing your experience, strength, and hope. Like, we really appreciate y'all. And
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Bringing new life helps us out big time.
yeah, it's like putting the paddles. Pop, pop. No, I was kidding.
Literally, I felt like invigorated sharing tonight, just to hear a different perspective and different voices. It makes all the difference. So thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Grateful.
Yes,
Same.
and we're gonna try to change it up, man. Get new people, and what we're doing this year. So I made the schedule, and I'm gonna post it. That way, everybody knows what's going on. But every Sunday, we're not doing Wednesdays anymore. We got to keep it simple. Keep it simple. Stupid Kiss is we're gonna do every Sunday, no matter what. Sundays are our deal. We're gonna be doing topic nights, and maybe might switch it up. We'll have 3 topic nights every month. And the last Sunday of the month, we're going to be doing a speaker. We're going to have someone come share their story, and we're still going to be on, and we're going to have questions, and we're all going to kind of conversate and get that hope out there and keep spreading that message, you know, for anybody struggling, you know.
And if we don't have a speaker, we're not going to be hard on ourselves, and we're just going to do another live.
And that's all we can do, because you know what? We just do the best we can around here.
We're not.
That's what counts.
That's it. So, guys, join us next Sunday, right here, 8:00. We'll be going live Eastern time. If somebody's in Central, we go 8:00 every Sunday, Eastern. So, thank you guys. I love you all. Have a great week, and see you guys Sunday. See ya.